Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of Matriphagy, the debut studio album by the nu metal band Tallah. Today we're celebrating the second anniversary of the record, and because The Generation of Danger is going to drop next month, I decided to review this record, because I'm a massive fan of this band. I wish that I could hear The Generation of Danger a week before the release so I could listen to it 50 times to get ready for the review. So yeah, probably I'm going to drop the Generation of Danger review in December, because I will have to spend at least 2 weeks listening to it. But yeah, my story with this band is pretty simple. I've been following Justin's endeavors since 2015, and I think it was on one of his streams back in early 2018 where he performed the Red Light song. Back then I don't know if he even mentioned the band's name. It was a magical time. Later Tallah released the Placenta music video and announced No One Should Read This EP, which came out and I was just loving it, and in 2020 they released Matriphagy, which consists of 6 new songs, 2 new interludes and 5 songs remastered from the EP. The production is tight, it's very punchy, the sounds are clean but sharp. I love the snare on this record. Josh knew what he was doing, so yeah, I applaud the production, but I am not a big fan of the remastered tracks. I think the originals were better. The message is diverse. It's a concept album about a guy called Kangen who's trapped in his house. He never were outside because his mother, Tallah, is abusing him emotionally and physically. He cannot leave, so he decides to cut off his dick, murder his mother and eat her, while talking to his plushy bunny Lobifu, who might be really talking to him, or maybe he's just delusional. A perfect story. Disney should make a movie about it. Cast Will Smith as Tallah and Lobifu as Danny DeVito. 11 out of 10 movie. I cannot wait for it. But for real, the story is emotional, it's disgusting but also enchanting. I like the spectrum of emotions we go through by listening to the vocals and knowing the whole picture. And you can also interpret it however you want. So yeah, it's open to interpretations. The structure of the songs is mostly advanced. It's not your typical pop structure of verse, chorus, solo chorus. There are more segments here and small changes which I actually appreciate. The music is a mix of nu metal and hardcore stuff, but yeah, it's mostly nu. The album starts with Redacted. It's an intro. Here we meet the main character who's already killed his mother. The police storms the house and they find him, blood everywhere. He's mumbling some fucked up words. It's beautiful, it's poetic. I love Justin's vocals here. It's like he has something bloody in his mouth and he's like bleh, bleh, bleh. There's some ambient stuff in the background which is very nice. It sets the tone for the entire record. I love hearing the main character's madness here and those screams and growls. It's like he's eating dirt and he's just trying to talk. Beautiful stuff. I would play it at my wedding. 10 out of 10. No One Should Read This is a total banger. It's a new song, it's not from the EP. It has those old school Slipknot vibes from their first record. The riffs, the bass, everything shines through. Of course, the main stars of this band are the drummer, Max Portnoy, and the vocalist, Justin Bonnes. They're the most talented guys here and they write most of this stuff by themselves. My favorite part of this song is probably after the second chorus, where we have that small little breakdown, where Justin does these weird noises, and the bridge part where the vocals sound kinda cowboyish or something, Red Dead Redemption style. It's a legendary song and a perfect start to this record musically. 11 out of 10. Kangen is a song that started the EP, No One Should Read This. I love the long intro, the corny verses with those weird guitars in. The rapping by Justin is beautiful. The chorus, I just love the chorus. But my favorite part is right in the middle. It's your typical corn scatting, yabba dabba doo motherfucker, twist, twist. When I first heard this song in 2018, I was like, this is the future of metal music. Fuck that boring metalcore shit. This is what I need in my life. and later it just keeps on getting better because we get a cool growl similar to those deathcore and slamming death metal bands. It's a perfect song on the EP, because on the album it's worse in every possible way. I am not sure why someone would call this a remaster. For me it's a demaster. While the instruments sound better, especially the drums, the vocals do not sound good. From what I remember, when Justin was recording vocals for the EP, he was either worn out or sick or something, so I think they added some effects on his vocals or maybe layers to make it more punchy, and on these remastered tracks, they've took the layers out, so if you listen on your headphones to the vocals and both versions, you will easily hear that the EP version has better sounding vocals. They're the same exact vocal lines, but on the EP they're just mixed better. So while I appreciate the new added things like muse and scratching on Kangen, which was absent on the original version, I still prefer the original because the vocals are more emotional and just have a bigger punch. So yeah, it's an 11 out of 10 song on the EP, but on the album it's just 6 out of 10. I actually have both digital and physical copy of this record, so with the digital one I've just replaced the remastered tracks with the EP ones to just listen to a better sounding version. Overconfidence is another new song. Here Kangen decides to escape from his house by digging a tunnel underneath the carpet or some shit, but he is caught by Tallah and he blames Lobifu for it, that plushy bunny that hangs from chains or something. Yet again we have a perfect song with beautiful sounding vocals through and through, from beginning to the end, everything just clicks. My favorite part is of course in the middle, where Justin is having a mental breakdown. The chorus has a nice ring to it, the verses involve mostly rapping and singing. It's an instant classic and everybody loves this song. To me it's not on the same level as the previous two tracks, but it's still a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. Placenta is the first song I've heard from this band. Amazing build up and the beginning. The pre-chorus and the chorus just slap all the way. My favorite part here would have been the chorus, but then the breakdown happens. It's just so emotional and heavy vocally. I've actually posted a guitar cover 2 years ago on my second channel before Matriphagy was released, so some people that watch my stuff would check out this band because they're just amazing through and through. This song is 10 out of 10, but yet again the remastered version is not on par with the EP one. This is the only song where I don't like the muse and contributions here. There's a weird sounding noise before the solo, it doesn't sound pleasant to my ears, like at all. So that's another reason why I prefer the EP version. Let is a song that melted my brain when it was released as a single with a music video. I told this story before in my Shaken review, but yeah, I was at my friend's house back then, so when Let was released I was like, dude, we need to hear this, and I've played it on the highest volume, and my friend doesn't listen to metal music at all. He listens to Aerobeat, some Dave Rogers, Deja Vu, I've just been in this place before, stuff like that. So he almost died from a heart attack, especially when the breakdown at the end hits. It's the best part, probably, of this entire album, that breakdown. It shifts so much and it's executed perfectly, especially that time signature change. I love when music has stuff like that. Lyrically, it's a song where the main character decides to cut off his dick because his mother always wanted him to be a girl or something. I try not to think about it that much because it makes me feel uncomfortable, but yeah, the song is perfect all the way. I love the rapping, the energy, it's new as fuck, 11 out of 10. The silo is where our main character takes being femboy to another level, and yeah, it's probably the most mainstream song on this album, if you could call it that. It has mostly singing, it's very beautiful because it's Justin. I love that little Easter egg before the second verse, which showcases the We Decide melody. There are more Easter eggs on this record, especially for the fans of the EP, like on the Overconfidence song, Justin mentions that, and we all know how this one ends or something like that. It's a reference to people that listened to the EP 2 years before Matriphagy, or the fact that in Too Quick to Grieve there's a line, I've been choking on a cotton mouth or something, name dropping the next song. I like this type of stuff. The silo has the best guitar solo on the record. I even forgot to mention that Placenta had one, but in Placenta it sounded similar to Slayer for some reason, and we all know how beautiful Slayer solos are. But here in the silo I actually quite dig it. In this song the verses are my favorite things, and the explosion of anger at the end. Killer stuff, 10 out of 10. With the Sad is another song from the EP, and actually I need to congratulate the guys because the remastered version is finally better than the EP one. Why couldn't you do the other tracks from the EP this way, while the vocals still don't sound as good as the EP version? Everything else is superior. The instrumentals just perfect. The new added things like little percussion bits here and there, Musin doing some scratches and noises which actually complement the track, and that moment before the final breakdown. It's like someone kicked you in the face. If you've heard the album version one, you're waiting for that drop, and on the EP one it just doesn't happen. But on the album, my god, it's like someone dropped a nuke on your head. This one reminds me a lot of the old school Korn stuff, especially the chorus. The singing, everything is beautiful, and I guess it's the best lyrical content on this record. Maybe I'm a fucked up person, but I do relate to the lyrics in the chorus. 11 out of 10 when it comes to the album version, and 10 out of 10 for the EP version. Too Quick to Grieve is a new song, and it's my second favorite on this record. It's here where Kangen kills Tallah. He pushes her off the stairs or something. The vocal performance here is probably the best from the entire record. The verses just sound insane when it comes to the vocals. There's so variety, lots of vocal styles are being used, and the emotional impact it has is just beyond your imagination. I love those verses. The breakdown is done in such a cool way that when you close your eyes, it's very easy for you to imagine someone falling from the stairs, or someone just laying on the ground and other person just kicks the shit out of them in the rhythm of the breakdown. And then the melody from the beginning and that verse comes back, and it gets so angry. Won't be a victim no more, so to got sick of being trapped inside this motherfucking house with you. I brought that cunt down. Beautiful stuff. I am not a singer, but it's so fun to hear. It's like a free therapy for your soul and mind. And then the final breakdown happens, and I love how guitars sound there. I guess it's a throwback to some old school hardcore, but for me it will always sound, you know, like Asphyx. There's a band called Asphyx. They have their guitars sounding like some fucking steel or something, and I really enjoy that Tallah is using this effect on this song in the breakdown. It brings out more anger in this music. I wish we could get that tuning or whatever those Swedish bands are doing in other music genres. The track is just epic. 11 out of 10. Cat and Mouth is a song that was my favorite on the EP when it came out 4 years ago. It was because of the vocals, but also overall atmosphere of the instruments. This one is probably the most death metalish song on the entire record. Lots of tremolo, blast beats. Vocally it sounds like the main character has finally lost it completely and he's totally insane. Her body was a mess, I confess, just a bunch of hanging corpse parts, la 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 la. Like, what is going on? This is my favorite part of the song, and the growls. The whole song is all over the place and I'm here for it. And that final part, I see no evil, I hear no evil, and the final anger release at the end is so beautiful to hear. This is some legendary shit, check it out, 11 out of 10. But the remastered version is a joke, it just sounds so lifeless compared to the original one. So yeah, album version just 5 out of 10. Murder Seat is my favorite Tallah song. The intro is just so beautiful and full of energy, and after that Justin does his blech, and we have that amazing I live for parts like this. Then we have the verses, which are amazing, and the pre-chorus is my favorite thing ever. And the fact that in both cases we have completely different vocal lines in the pre-chorus is very fun to me. Let's murder! Because fuck everybody else! That's just my favorite part of the song. And that weird scatting that doesn't remind me of Korn but Skindred for some reason. It has that reggae vibe going on. Waka baka baka wong go go, Jalov, man. I know that Justin is part Jamaican or something and his father was black, and I'm happy that he took those vibes and added them into Tallah, because it makes the song sound more special. It's not your standard nu metal song, it has more to it, and I'm all for these kinds of experiments in music. 11 out of 10. Next track is not even a song, The Borderline of Pain. The title is a line that comes straight out of Red Light. This is just an intro that has no vocals, and I don't like it. It just takes 1 minute of your life that you're not going to get back. It's nothing bad, I just don't see point in stuff like this. This doesn't bring tension and doesn't build up to the next song for me. That's just my opinion. 5 out of 10. And the final song, Red Light, I'm a poor boy. Nobody really knows what this song is actually about. For me, it was all happening in the main character's head, and then he wakes up and decides to play some Need for Speed Underground 2 on his PC. That's how I see the ending of this album. But yeah, I adore every single part that happens in this song. The beginning is just furious, full of energy. Then we have those creepy verses. I adore the guitar riffs here, the drumming of course. I always forgot about the drums. Every song here has the best drumming like in 2020. Justin is killing it on vocals. The live version has a better chorus because he added some more melodic lines to it, and they also make the final breakdown longer. I have nothing against this song. It's a certified banger. Read their bones, cut their throats, shove you under my bed. That's my favorite part. 11 out of 10 track on the EP, because on the album this is really disappointing. You can hear that in that bridge section I just mentioned, you know, that break their bones. The vocals on the EP sound massive and full of anger, and on the album they've decided to add some kind of flanger effect or some shit on the vocals, like he's floating in space, and I'm just like, you've just ruined it. So yeah, I will always skip the album version because of that. I mean, not just because of that. The whole vocals are just mixed better on the EP. So the album version is 4 out of 10, just forget it. Listen to the EP one. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable and the flow is ideal. You're not going to skip anything here. Replayability, hell yeah, it's a masterpiece. It could have been legendary if 4 out of 5 songs from the EP were actually remastered in a better way. The only song from the EP that sounds better on this record is We The Sad. Everything else I just had to replace with the original one so I could enjoy them. It's the only reason why it's not legendary. It's a masterpiece, every song is structured perfectly, it has meaning, the vocals are just beautiful. There's not even a one section vocally that I would be like, that's not good. Nah, everything is just perfect. So are the instruments, the guitars, the bass, the drums. Musin is killing it as a DJ. I just adore this stuff. I'm going to listen to this record until I die, and I urge you to join if you haven't heard it yet. Celebrate the anniversary with me by playing it today. It deserves more praise and attention, for sure. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next review. Bye!